Fox News Alert, 3 minutes into the open of trade here in the U.S. markets. The Dow is out of the gate down about 1,250 points. That's just more than a 3% sell-off there. The overnight trade was indicating that we would see selling on the open this morning, although it does look like the selling picked up a little bit. It is likely to be a volatile session indeed. I believe we're going to bring in Maria Bartiromo now. She's joining us as we watch markets and we wonder where this all goes next with tariffs. Maria.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much. Yes, the panic continues on Wall Street. People are worried about the impact on growth, worried about the impact on earnings. That's why we're opening lower to this extent. We've lost more than $6 trillion in market value in just 2 trading sessions. That was Thursday and Friday. And we are heading into the first quarter earnings reporting season. This Friday, you'll have the major banks beginning the reporting season with earnings from J.P. Morgan. All eyes will be on those numbers to see if things can stabilize. I will say that there were some signals over the weekend that we could see some signs of de-escalation because the White House said that 50 countries have contacted them to renegotiate tariffs lower. The president is going to have a press conference today with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu from Israel. We will likely hear a conversation about tariffs. Perhaps they will cut tariffs there. That could be a good market-moving sign. You had some good positive comments from the Prime Minister of the UK saying we don't love what Trump is doing, but we understand. And there is a room for renegotiation there as well. And I just want to point out some positives here. Because while you have the stock market selling off, oil prices are down and interest rates are down. These are 2 very good signs, and that will help the consumer and certainly rein in inflation. So, yes, we're still in this panic moment where people are reacting to the tariffs, but there are some signals that we could see the president talk about renegotiating tariffs with certain countries. All we need is one announcement to actually change sentiment here, because a lot of people are looking at this market saying this is a wild overreaction.
Okay, and then one question I had is, so for people who are heavily invested in Wall Street, obviously that's a big deal. But at what point, Maria, do these effects on Wall Street start to have an effect on Main Street?
Well, it is going to have an effect on Main Street. Some things will become higher priced. We will see some products actually be raised in price because companies will pass on the cost of tariffs to consumers. I would expect that. That's why you have some people saying that we could see a recession, we'll see a growth slowdown. This morning, Nancy Lazar, who I follow very closely, and I think she's terrific, from Piper Sandler, she says if the tariffs stay in place for at least the next 6 months, even if only 50% of the price shocks where we're seeing products go higher in price show through the economy, U.S. real GDP is on track to decline about 1% in the second quarter and in the third quarter, with unemployment rising. But look, President Trump told us that we were going to see a disruption. We are in that disruption right now. The bottom line is, when you're looking at this situation from 30,000 feet above, he's trying to rejigger the economy so that the U.S. is not reliant on China for prescription drugs or Taiwan for advanced semiconductor chips to try to get manufacturing here. So, yes, I do expect this to hit the Main Street and hit prices that will go higher. And that's why you're seeing this reaction in the market.
Yeah, just looking at this, President Trump, Truth Social statement following his conversation with the Japanese Prime Minister. He said countries from all over the world are talking to us. He just put this out right as the markets were opening here, Maria. Tough but fair parameters are being set. Spoke to the Japanese Prime Minister. He said he's sending a top team to negotiate. So certainly this is a White House that in this moment of great uncertainty, Maria, is trying to put the message out there that they're getting phone calls, that the conversations are happening, and that they are right now negotiating. What do you take away from that update?
Well, I think that is what's happening. I think President Trump is a deal maker. He threw out the most significant, worse than expected tariffs on what he called Liberation Day. And that's probably the high watermark. From here, he uses that as a negotiating lever. And you've got all of these countries that are talking about the potential for deal making. Israel spoke about it, the UK, Vietnam, Argentina. we are going to see some of these countries take their tariffs down. And that's what President Trump wanted. He also wanted corporate America to say, we've got to move our supply chains back to America. That will create jobs and make the United States less dependent on China, which, of course, is an adversary. So, yes, I do expect deals to be announced. And as soon as we see one major trading partner announce a change in their tariffs and a deal with the United States, I suspect we're going to see a huge rally in stocks.
Maria, just quickly, do you think Israel is a major trading partner? So if that happened today, you would see that?
Well, Israel is a major trading partner, but I think people want to see the European Union do a deal.
Gotcha.
I think they want, they want to see something bigger with a larger trading partner. But yes, all of the above.
Okay, thank you, Maria. Thank you so
Maria.
much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.